Welcome to part 3 of our Central New South Wales trip. Hi, my name is Rosemary, one half of R&R Living Life, the other being my husband Rick. Together we have been making our way into Central New South Wales. I have put together some of the photographs I have taken to show the vast, ever-changing landscape and points of interest of where we have been. I hope you enjoy watching. We leave a very cold Glen, the Celtic capital, and make our way west along the wider highway to Inverell. Our travels take us through the high country of the New England tablelands that is dominated by a section of the Great Dividing Range called the Northern Tablelands Plateau, with rivers that drain through spectacular gorges and waterfalls, through national parks and on to Inverell. From Inverell we make our way to Ashford, a small rural village located 56 kilometres north of Inverell on a major arterial road. Ashford Road connects the Gwydir and Bruxner highways through to the Queensland border. Pindari Dam is situated on the Severn River, 22 kilometres from Ashford. The original dam was completed in 1969. In 1997, the capacity was enlarged from 37,500 megalitres to 312,000 megalitres. The dam is surrounded by untouched native eucalypts, woodlands and granite bluffs. Its main purpose includes flood mitigation, hydropower, irrigation, water supply and conservation. The dam wall has a height of 85 metres and is 954 metres in length. The maximum depth of the water is 73 metres and covers an area when full of 1.05 hectares or 2,600 acres, and the catchment area is 2,000 square kilometres. Ashford began as a rendezvous point for shearers and shepherds from surrounding areas. It was also a regular stopover for drovers travelling south from Queensland. Though primarily a rural community, the district contains pristine and unspoiled land. The town has faced many challenges since explorer Alan Cunningham passed through the district in 1827, while it wasn't until 1851 when J.J. Galloway marked out the site of Ashford. Many of these challenges include being devastated by a serious flood in 1872 and a severe drought in 1902, with 20,000 sheep dying at Fraser Creek Station. In 1898, a local sawmill opened to process locally cut cypress pine, but like the majority of industry in Ashford, it is no longer there. We made our camp at the park beside the 3 Mile Bridge just out of Ashford on the Bonchore Road, at the junction of the Severn River and Fraser's Creek. The name 3 Mile is left over from the old imperial measurement that has stuck. After sightseeing during the day, we spent time relaxing beside the creek, trying to spot the elusive platypus. Our intent today was to visit the limestone caves, but they were unfortunately closed. The caves occur on the northern edge of a limestone outcrop which stretches for 10 kilometres along Limestone Creek. The area's limestone is carboniferous in age, about 330 million years old, and was metamorphosed into marble by the heat and pressure generated when nearby volcanic and igneous rocks formed. So we continued our journey further along the dirt road to the beautiful McIntyre Falls. The falls, though small, are visually striking as they tumble from a rocky outcrop through a series of steps to the deep rock pool at the base. From the lookout platform at the top of the falls, we could view the falls and where the 2 rivers join, with spectacular views of the waterfall, large pools, sandy beaches, sculptured granite and amazing valley scenery. Nature, in its element, has created a truly amazing terrain. It was hard for me to focus on one aspect of the scenery, as wherever I looked I found something else that I found interesting. The colours of the rocks, the weathering that has occurred, resulting in some remarkable, unusually rocky outcrops that were breathtaking, along with the clear rock pools. The contrast between the rocks, the vegetation and water were incredible. Nature is honestly a remarkable thing to create such a landscape. From the McIntyre Falls we made our way back to camp and again spent time searching for that elusive platypus. After a couple of relaxing and enjoyable days, We left Ashford and travelled via Wallangarra and Coonabarabran to Warialda before making our way towards Moree and then on to Gurley. Coonabarabran is in the New England region of New South Wales. In the 1830s, a wealthy Englishman named R.B. Otley came to a fertile area of the then unexplored region north of Warialda. In 1903, several allotments joining Coonabarabran station were sold with a view of forming a township. The village name of Coonabarabran is probably an adaptation of the station name. Coonabarabran at one stage had a post office, general store, school and hotel, but now only the village hall and the hotel remain. Warialda, place of wild honey, is situated along Reedy Creek, a tributary of the Gwydir River, at the intersection of the Gwydir Highway and Fossicas Way main roads. The first official notations on the area by a European were made in 1827, when explorer and botanist Alan Cunningham passed through on his overland trek from the Hunter Valley to the Darling Downs. Many land features that he made note of can still be recognised today. Cunningham reported the existence of a hut in the Warialda area, which is believed to have been constructed by an escaped convict, thus indicating an earlier European presence. With the official settlement occurring around 1837, Warialda was one of the earliest towns settled west of the Great Dividing Range. However, there is sufficient evidence, including that of Alan Cunningham, which suggests runaway convicts were living in the area well before then. Agriculture is the industry that sustains the town and wider area to this day. The rich alluvial Gwydir River flats to the west and the black soil plains to the northern region produce some of the country's finest grains. Sheep, wool and cattle production add high quality and significant value to the agricultural industry. Gravesend, which according to railway archives means at the end of the grove, was proclaimed a village in October 1911 and described as containing an area of about 110 acres, later expanded to around 273 acres. Although small, Gravesend contains a wealth of history. It is also renowned on the rodeo circus for its breeding program for bucking horses. Moree, in the Gwydir Valley in northwest New South Wales, is located on the banks of the Mihai River, previously known as the Gwydir River, and is part of the Barwon catchment within the Murray-Darling Basin. The town is at the junction of the Newell and the Gwydir highways and is a major agricultural centre. Moree is also known as Australia's artesian spa capital because since 1895 it has tapped into the hot springs of the Great Artesian Basin. Gurley, situated on the Newell Highway, is a small rural town in the northwest of New South Wales between Moree and Narrabri. The grain silos we saw are an unmistakable sight as you enter the village. The Gurley siding railway station was first opened in 1897, followed by the Gurley siding post office in 1898. Although the railway station has been closed for some time, the rail line is still used daily, transporting travellers between Moree and Sydney, as well as providing an essential transport for agricultural produce. As we travel along the Newell Highway, the major road link between southeastern Queensland and Victoria via central New South Wales towards Narrabri, we can see Mount Kaputa on the horizon across vast areas of farming country. Narrabri, at the junction of the Newell and Camilroy highways, is the centre of a major cotton growing industry. An agricultural heartland, the region also produces fine wheat, beef and lambs. Other produce grown locally include olives, wine, honey and pasta made from quality durum wheat that's grown locally. Because of the geography of Narrabri and the surrounding areas, the township is quite prone to flooding and fire. We spent a couple of hours in Narrabri restocking supplies and visiting the information centre, brimming with informative displays, local history and a huge cotton display. We continue south of Narrabri through the Pilliga Forest, sometimes known as the Pilliga Scrub, which constitutes over 5,000 square kilometres of semi-arid woodland in temperate north-central New South Wales, and is the largest such continuous remnant temperate forest in the state. On reaching Coonabarabran, we visited the Information Centre, which hosts the Australian Museum Diprotodon exhibition, where we saw the skeleton and skull of a Diprotodon, the largest marsupial ever to have lived. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Central New South Wales. Join us next time as we continue our journey. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Rick and Rosemary, R&R Living Life.